Happy Thursday, and I just wanted to take a minute to kind of walk you through an assignment that it looks like you might be struggling on a little bit. And so I just wanted to explain these journal assignments because some of the students are going through there and they're doing the other work really well, but it seems like they're confused on the journal assignment. So I just want to touch base on it real quick. So if I go on the current folder and I go into Module 1 Intro to Psych, this is the journal I'm talking about, this top one that's the Intro to Psych journal. A lot of students will click in there and then they see a submit button on the right, but they're confused on what they're submitting. So I just want to walk you through this, make sure we're on the same page. So if you look right here where it says the history of psychology, anything with this blue arrow, these are what I call the mini units. Now you're going to have between 5 to 7 mini units per module, and each one has some different information in them. And so if I look at this history of psychology, I notice that it's followed by this short quiz. Now, as I go down, I say, okay, another mini unit, what psychologists do, followed by a short quiz. Well, we also have a journal component to that. And so when I click on the history of psychology, I'm going to notice that this lesson has 7 slides to it. Well, this journal entry is always found on the last slide of your mini unit. And so you'll see on this first one, it says, okay, our journal question is, how is psychology different from common sense? So now, as I finish that first mini unit on the history of psychology, I would want to open up a Google Doc. Now, you can do it with Microsoft Word, whatever you want. Most people are going to use Google Docs, though. And so what I would do on that Google Doc is I would put this question, how is psychology different from common sense? Now, what I would do then is I would make sure that I have that information on these 7 slides. This is where it's teaching me how psychology is different from common sense. So the short videos, the information that is in there. So you would save that then, because as you work through your module, we go to our next mini unit, which is what psychologists do. Now, as I click on this, I notice there's only 5. And so as I work through, I notice, okay, the fifth slide has my journal question. So this one is, what's the difference between a clinical psychologist and a psychiatrist? So you saw the first one, what's the difference between common sense and psychology? Second one, what's the difference between a clinical psychologist and a psychiatrist? Now what you'll do then is, as you're collecting those answers on the Google Doc, and you'll do this for each one of these items in blue, what psychologists do, descriptive studies, correlations, experiments, evaluating the findings. Now, mine looks a little bit different from yours, but if I click on this Intro to Psych journal, there will be a little green button on this side that says Submit Assignment. Well, most people get super confused because they're like, what assignment? What am I putting in there? Well, that's the part I just explained. Going to the last slide of each one of those presentations for the mini unit, grabbing that question, and then answering that question with the information we learned in that mini unit. Now, you'll hit that Submit Assignment button. It'll bring up a second screen for you that gives you the place that you link or add your link in for that Google Doc. Then you hit Submit, and it populates and comes right to me. Hopefully that helps understand how to complete that assignment. Let me know if you have any questions, because I'd love to see everybody get caught up with those, hopefully by tomorrow actually, but shortly if that's not an option. Have a good rest of the day. Reach out and let me know if you need anything. Have a good one.